man, gosh, like we didn't have enough problems in the world going on. Now we gotta deal with an even bigger problem than we got in Ukraine. Will Smith done bitch slapped another brother. I mean, I'm gonna say some things that are gonna piss some people off right now. And I'm not really worried about that, okay? I'm gonna say some things that nobody else I hear saying. I come from a different place than many people. I have had to defend the honor of many women before. You guys like my pink unicorns here behind me? I got them for my daughters. They're gigantic. They're huge. Big one was a unicorn, one for my little son. Listen, I have had to defend the honor of some women before in my life, and I mean seriously, for severe reasons. Not because of a weak joke. That was probably the least offensive joke I have ever heard Chris Rock say about someone else. I went to the comedy club in college with some girls, some pretty girls, and two dudes, and I was pretty jacked in college. And we were late, and you know what happens when you're late to a comedian's stick. They pretty much use you for the whole stick. Yeah, well, I took it pretty hard, too. And the girl that I was with that I really liked, she was really smoking hot. At the end of the whole thing, she was like, wow, you really let him dig into you, and you handled it really well. I was like, yeah, damn right I did, baby. And yeah, that definitely, that night ended in my favor. Definitely. Because I kept my shit together. And I didn't care. I laughed. I was like, ha ha ha, yeah, you comedian, you're funny. You little bitch. I just let the guy make fun of me. And, you know, call me Guido or Meathead or whatever it was he called me back in the day. Whatever. Didn't matter. Because in reality, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. People's words have never really bothered me. But when somebody violently threatens you, that's when we got a problem. Now, Will Smith. Man, Will, come on. As if black people don't have a big enough ditch to jump out of right now. People all over the country be like, man, black people only, they're violent, they're stealing, they're looting, they're losing the temper. I mean, it's a lot of negativity out there, man. You know this. There's a lot of negativity. And then you're going to go and do that to another brother even. I mean, you lost your cool, and I feel for you because of, I forget what it was, but that one clip that we saw a while ago of Will Smith, like, crying, and people were, like, making fun of him and stuff because he was crying about whatever was going on with Jada at the time. I mean, this is some deep stuff, guys. Like, poor Will Smith. I mean, first off, this is a very obvious reason, gentlemen, as to why you should never be in an open relationship. Don't play that bullshit, all right? You get commitment from your partner, or just be prepared for some shit to go down. Oh, but I lost my hair. Okay, I lost my hair. And believe it or not, I was voted best hair in high school for my high school superlatives as a senior. Then I had dreadlocks, then I had a mohawk, and then I had braids. I loved my long hair. And in 2003, I got deathly ill at the height of my musical career. I was in the music industry. I was on billboards. I was getting national radio airplay. And I was at the height of my career, and I got deathly ill. And I lost function of all my organs, and my hair started falling out. My nails started to crack and get very brittle. I lost my hair, and that was very hard for me, so I know what that was like. And I got deathly ill and lost 50 pounds in about 2 months. So, I understand that aspect of Jada having this alopecia, okay? And I'm sure that's a sensitive subject at home for she and Will. But let's be real. They already got enough problems going on at home as it is with the relationship and the marriage. I think that open relationships are about as unhealthy as it gets. You know, you should be willing to give full commitment and loyalty and demand full commitment and loyalty in return. That's what a relationship is. Otherwise, there's no point. Okay? But here's where I really see a problem. We got a lot of issues with young men in particular, young black men even more, not having a proper example of a father at home. Now Will Smith then gets up on stage because Chris Rock makes a comment about G.I. Jane, which was a great movie that Demi Moore looked badass and hot in, by the way. And Jada is a beautiful woman. And she's a beautiful woman with hair or shaved head. How many women can look that beautiful, that stunning with a shaved head? I mean, in reality. But now I don't want to give Jada too much credit because I think Jada's putting Will through the ringer. And I feel like she's walked all over Will. So then Will walks up on stage and just bitch slaps Chris Rock. Bitch slap. And I don't know what on earth would cause Will to open his hand and literally slap like this. Because in the slow motion, he's like this. I'm uncomfortable watching it because it's a bitch slap. I'll tell you that much. But I'm uncomfortable watching it. And I've seen dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of fights. And I've been in dozens and dozens and dozens of fights. Violent fights. And then Will gets down off on stage and he's, you know, take my wife's name out your mouth, right? And then what happens next? Jaden, the son, puts up a post on Twitter or Facebook or whatever it was, and he says, that's how we do it. Like, this is how we do it. Right? But Jaden says, that's how we do it. No, Jaden, it's not. It's not, dude. Maybe that's how y'all do it in Hollywood? with a bitch slap? Because somebody's a snowflake? Or because emotions are just unhealthy? I don't know what to say, but Jaden, that is not how you do it. Because if somebody is taking away the honor of your woman, you get up there, you knock their fucking teeth out. If it gets to that point. But that's not what Will needed to do. That was a joke. It was a mild joke. It was a mild joke at best. And I think that display is a horrid example of just losing control. One thing that fighting has taught me, and I mean structured fighting, I've done progressive fighting systems, PFS, for many years. Now, I've been doing PFS, progressive fighting systems, for many years. My adopted father is an instructor. I was in my first fight in the 3rd grade. I was jumped by 3 other people in the 3rd grade. And I had been in gang fights many times after that. Now, I am very disappointed in Will Smith losing control, because really that's all he did, is he hit a breaking point and he lost control. He hit a breaking point. He's just a man. He's a human, and I feel for Will. I feel like this is just a terrible situation for Will, but now the Academy should have stripped him of his award. There is no way in hell that Will should have gotten up on stage later that evening and received an award for Best Actor after what he just did. After the example he just set. After what he just did to Chris Rock. No way. No way. Chris Rock is a comedian. I don't believe that comedians should get to say whatever they want and have a free pass. But if there was something severe, you know, if Jada had cancer, she lost her hair to chemo or leukemia or something like that, I would say them's just fighting words. But I don't think that was the situation. I think that Will Smith lost control. I think it was a terrible example, and a terrible example to set for his son. because sticks and stones may break my bones, but words should never hurt me. And I have been pushed around and called names and put down and beaten and slapped, and I have still been able to maintain my composure in many instances when I needed to. Whereas I reacted appropriately when I needed to, when I could, when it called for it. There's a big difference. It's people who have something they haven't worked out within themselves who lose control and rage. I have been the recipient on that end, and it's very sad. And I know that I come across to many people like I'm the one who would lose control. But being in structured fighting systems for my whole life, I'm able to maintain control. Because there's very little that will set me off to lose control. But if there's something that deems the protection of others, I sure as hell will respond. Yes. But see, now we've got a problem. Because Will Smith is a very popular and famous actor, and he was awarded the same evening that he should have gone to jail. If we're looking at it that way. Now, should he go to jail? I don't know. Probably not. I don't think so. But if we're going to set an example, we need to set an example. So I have a real big problem with what happened afterwards regarding Jaden Smith, the son, obviously. And this is a big problem for the black community. And I'm going to put this out there. And I'm sure I'll get a lot of flack for it. But coming from the black community myself, and always being accepted and respected and taught black family values, this is not what the black community needed, Will. Not one bit. So what are you gonna do about it now? Because as of this day, 6:54 on April 3rd, I have not yet heard that Will Smith has made any type of formal apologies to Chris Rock. I mean, I've heard there's been a couple attempts or whatever, lame ass apologies, but nothing formal. Nothing formal like to the public, where the public gets to appreciate Will Smith's attempt. So I think that socially we already had enough issues, and Will Smith just gave us a bigger one. And it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been. Because we got real problems going on. And a bitch slap ain't one of them. You know, like I got 99 problems, but a bitch ain't one. Alright, guys. That's what I had to say for now. Oh, man. By the way, guys, if you've been following my channel for my Kratom material, you will appreciate that I am 4 days Kratom free. And that's been a tough road. It has not been easy, I can tell you that much. 4 days Kratom free. And it's been very difficult. But we're going to get there. Cheers. Grab a protein shake. Let's go get big. And I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Also want to let you know that I am now 9 months post-spinal fusion and doing pretty well. I have had, the last 4 days have been very tough. Because the weather has been up and down and back and forth and everything else. The weather really hurts. But, man. Just when you think like shit can't get worse, it just gets unreal. Man. I feel for Chris Rock, but I will tell you this. I think Chris Rock handled that situation just beautifully. I think he just stood up there on stage and he just looked around and he goes, "Wow, I just got the shit smacked out of me by Will Smith," or something like that, right? But I think Chris Rock handled himself very well, very appropriately. But I really do hope that. But I'm very ashamed of that example. I really would have expected more from Will, but at the same time, I want to make it very clear that man broke. He's just a human. He's a human, and he broke. He hit a breaking point, and I feel for him. So I feel for Will. I feel for Chris. And I feel for the rest of society that's now got to figure this one out. So that's the video for now, guys and gals. Listen, I go by Coach Hardgain. Stay tuned for the videos. I got 26 years of bodybuilding experience, 21 years of coaching experience. I've died a few times. I've been through a lot in my life, and I'm here to share it with you and help you get through your lives without all of the darkness that many people are going through right now. Because we're losing a lot of people. That is the epidemic. That is the true epidemic, not this bullshit C word. Alright, y'all, stay tuned.